Okay. Hello. Welcome to the Caregiver Training on Effective Communication. I'm Whitney Yao, and I'm a CSM in the Indy area here. I have a bachelor's degree in social work from Anderson University, and I have my licensure through the state of Indiana. So I am a licensed social worker, and I have worked my entire professional career in elder care. So long-term care facilities, rehab. I have worked with dementia clients. I have worked with assisted living facilities. I've been in skilled home health care and now being here in the non-skilled, non-medical side of things. So I have a pretty wide range of experience with older adults, and definitely some experience with conflict and communication. So we will have a lot of fun here talking today. If you have any questions or need to make any comments, we have our wonderful Carolyn sitting at the computer who's going to let me know when we have questions. So go ahead and put those in there and we'll do our best to address those as they come in. So I'll go ahead and get started talking about effective communication, which only happens when the intended message of the person talking is clearly understood by the person listening. So sometimes there are barriers to that, and there are two main barriers. There's often a difference in what we say, what we intend to say, and what we actually say. And then there is always the added trouble with the person who's receiving the message not decoding or receiving that message in the way that we intend. So effective communication is actually only made up of 7 to 20% of the words we actually say. The rest is all left up to body language, tone of voice, and we'll get into those here in just a minute. We want to make sure that we always have a clear message, a positive tone of voice, and the correct body language for the message that we're trying to convey. It's important to communicate effectively because we're less likely to be confronted with misunderstandings, and it helps to avoid friction and reduces mistakes. It basically just makes our jobs easier. So we will be going over tone of voice, body language, active listening, requesting feedback, and being empathetic. Those are the 5 keys that I view as keys to effective communication. We're also going to be going over some challenging communication, that being with clients who have dementia and with managing conflict, whether it's with clients, families. So we will go ahead and get into tone of voice. Tone of voice has to do with the pitch, the inflection, the volume, and the tempo of your voice. So simply put, it's how you sound when you speak out loud. We'll watch a quick video here that we did in the office, and then we will go over a couple of things about that.
A technicolor world made out of music and machines.
Well, hello, I am Whitney Yao. I am a client care manager here at Senior Home Companions in the Indy office, and I am also a social worker, licensed social worker. And we are going to be doing a scene here where Carolyn is going to be the client, and I am going to be the caregiver. So we're going to go.
So as you can see there, the client didn't necessarily have a calm tone of voice, but with me coming at the situation with a calm tone of voice, I was able to really bring down the tone of voice and make things more calm and redirect things in a way that made it helpful for both of us. So now I'm going to say just a 4-word phrase in several different ways and different tones of voice and inflection, just to show how tone of voice can really affect what you're saying. So I'm just going to say, what can I do? 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 So you can see there with volume, tempo, inflection, and tone of voice, how it really affected what I was saying, even though I was saying the same words. So that is tone of voice, and we will move on to body language. So as you can see with the words I was saying just a minute ago, I was using some body language, rolling my eyes, moving, shrugging. Those things all went into the tone of voice that I was using as well. So body language is really important. You can tell a lot from your body language without even hearing words coming out of your mouth. There is a quote I really like from Peter Drucker. The most important thing in communication is to hear what isn't being said. And as we could tell from that statistic earlier, 7 to 20% of conversation, effective communication, is the words that you actually say, and the rest is all up to body language and tone of voice. So we will watch a video here. There's a quick Seinfeld video, and then we'll talk a little bit about that.
What is this?
Veggie sandwich and a grapefruit.
A veggie sandwich and a grapefruit. What are you turning into?
A healthy person.
Ow! Ow, you squirted me.
Oh, sorry.
Boy, that stings.
George, have you seen Morgan?
No.
He's been coming in later and later. Is there something wrong?
No, not that I know of.
Really? Well, make sure he signs this. Oh, look, George, if there's a problem with Morgan, you can tell me.
Morgan? No, he's doing a great job.
I understand.
What is your problem?
No problem here.
You keep winking at me. That's really obnoxious.
I had no idea.
Right there. You just did it again.
Wait a minute. It's from that grapefruit that Jerry squirted at me.
Oh, your eye still hurts?
Yeah, you must have squirted a piece of pulp in it, too.
Pulp couldn't make it across the table.
Pulp can move, baby! Why can't you eat a real breakfast?
Hey, I eat healthy. If I have to take out an eye, that's the breaks.
Wait a minute. I must have been winking down at the office. That's why Mr. Wilhelm was acting so mysterioso.
What did he think? You were flirting with him?
No, he thought I was hiding something about Morgan. Is that the lovely Mrs. Morgan?
Hello.
By the way, you got that birthday card?
Birthday card?
Mr. Steinbrenner's birthday card. Wilhelm said you'd have it for me to sign.
Oh, yeah, whoa, I have that for you right after lunch.
Fine, I'll be back after my massage.
Of course, your massage. Enjoy your massage. Hey, Mr. Morgan, how was your massage?
I had to cancel it. For some reason, my wife got it into her head that it was more than just a massage.
Really?
Yeah, anyway, we got into this big fight at lunch. Looks like tonight I'll be sleeping on the couch.
Hey, listen, don't oversleep. You can't afford to be late again.
I know. Somebody around here has been giving Wilhelm the impression that I've been slacking off.
Hey, you know what? You should try my friend's wake-up service. She swears by this thing, huh?
Costanza, you may be my only friend around here.
Have you seen Morgan?
He's not here?
No, he's late again.
That's impossible. I got him a wake-up service.
Now, look, George, you don't have to cover for him anymore. He's going to be gone soon, and I'm going to recommend you for his job.
Gone?
It sounds like all that winking got you a promotion.
I don't want Morgan's job. He's got a lot of work to do.
So you can see from that simple clip that even just a simple wink of the eye, because you have limit in your eye, can affect communication. It can lead people to think something that may not be true. So being aware of your body language is huge. So we have a couple of videos, some do's and don'ts, and these are really extreme videos. So just to be able to show you the difference between a good and a bad. So we'll go ahead and watch these now.
Debbie, I'm Carolyn, I'm your CSM, and this is your caregiver, Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
How are you?
I'm doing, not so well.
Okay.
I'm really hurting.
What do you want to eat for lunch? Debbie, I'm Carolyn. I'm your CS. Hi, Debbie. I'm your CSM, Carolyn. This is Whitney, your caregiver.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Just still having trouble. Walking a little bit, and my medicine seems to be giving me headaches. So, but
Oh no. Is there anything that helps that or makes it any better?
taking a couple of Tylenol a few times a day, but a lot of times I forget.
Well, I can definitely help remind you to do that.
That would be great.
Yeah. Well, we're here to help. So, is there anything that I can do for you right now to get started?
I think I would like some lunch.
Okay. What would you like for lunch?
Kind of boring, but peanut butter and jelly sounds good to me. And
All
maybe
right.
a glass of milk.
Absolutely. Well, I'll go ahead and get started, and if there's anything I can't find, I'll let you know. But I'll get your lunch prepared. Absolutely.
So you can really see the difference in body language in both of those videos. One, the slouching, not making eye contact, being soft-spoken or turned away. Those are all things that don't make a good impression. So in those videos, I was being introduced as the new caregiver to a client and was making a poor impression in the first video and a good impression in the next. So it's very important, even just your head positioning, being focused on and facing the client, sitting up straight, not crossing your legs or arms, keeping your eyes on them. That's very important in showing that you're really paying attention and listening well. We can switch to the next one. Okay, so now we are going to do some talking about active listening. So active listening is all about showing verbal and visual cues that you're listening to what's being said. It's removing all distractions and making sure that you're focusing on the person who's talking. You want to focus on their body language, their tone of voice, and what they're actually saying. Then you use this information to repeat back what you've heard so that you can tell them, I heard you, and make sure that the information that you heard and interpreted was correct. As we talked about in the very beginning, sometimes we interpret things differently than how someone would have us when they say something to us. So we always want to make sure we're actively listening and asking, did I hear you right? Is this what you said? Just to make sure that we actually heard what they wanted us to hear. So we'll watch a funny video here that plays on active listening.
First there was PlayStation, aka PS1. Then there's PS2, PS3, and now PS4. And that makes sense. You'd think after Xbox, there'd be Xbox 2. But no. Next came Xbox 360. And now, after 360, comes Xbox One. Why one? Maybe that's how many seconds of thought they put into naming it.
Can you get the butter, please?
However, with the Xbox One, I can control my entire entertainment system using voice commands. Up until now, I've had to use Leonard.
Then get the other one. Pass the butter.
Hang on. I don't feel like you're taking this dilemma seriously.
Fine, Sheldon. You have my undivided attention.
Okay, now, the PS4 is more angular and sleek looking.
No way!
It's true, but the larger size of the Xbox One may keep it from overheating.
Well, you wouldn't want your gaming system to overheat?
No, you absolutely would not. And furthermore, the Xbox One now comes with a Kinect included.
Included?
Yes! Not sold separately. Although the PS4 uses cool new GDDR5 RAM, while the Xbox One is still using the conventional DDR3 memory.
Why would they still be using DDR3? Are they nuts?
See, that's what I thought. But then they go and throw in an ES RAM buffer.
Oh, wait a second. Who's they?
The Xbox.
You're kidding!
No, I am not. And this ES RAM buffer should totally bridge the 100 gigabit per second bandwidth gap between the two RAM types.
This is a nightmare. How will you ever make a decision?
See, I don't know. What should I do?
Please pass the butter!
Thank you again for dinner.
You're welcome.
Good night.
So you could see there that she began actively listening. She was engaging with him to make sure that he knew she was listening to what he was saying, repeating back key words that he was saying, being able to really make eye contact. She was using her body language to show him she was listening, and then repeating back what she heard was really the most important thing. So he knew she was paying attention because she was able to repeat that back to him. So we'll go ahead and watch a video that we made about a client interaction and how you can use active listening to help engage with your clients. And we'll play that now.
Oh yes, I've had dogs my whole life.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. I've had big dogs and some small dogs, and my favorite dog, her name is Lilac, and she's just amazing. We go everywhere together.
Lilac, that's a beautiful name.
Yep, I adopted her, so she already had her name, but it's like perfect. I love flowers and gardening, so sure, Lilac's like a perfect dog name for me.
Absolutely.
So we like to go hiking and walks around the neighborhood, and she likes to go swimming, and she catches turtles. She dives down in the creek and catches the turtles, and she just loves to eat. That's what she likes to do.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it sounds like Lilac really likes being outside, and you enjoy doing that with her.
Oh,
So,
yes.
would that be something that you'd like to do today? Is take Lilac outside and go for a walk?
I would love that. We haven't done that in forever.
Wonderful. Well, let's do that today.
Okay, perfect.
So you can see there that I was engaged in what she was saying to me. I was nodding my head. I was using words like sure, absolutely, of course, okay, yes, just to show that I was listening. And then at the end, I was able to repeat back what I heard and actually turn that into a way to engage with her as my client to go take Lilac for a walk. So being able to really listen and actively listen to your clients will really help with engaging with them and going above and beyond to make sure that we are really treating them the best that we can. And so next is requesting feedback. And requesting feedback can definitely be awkward and uncomfortable. But it does pay off in the long run. It shows your clients that you're eager to do your job and do it well. And it shows them that we care about the way that they want things done. And after all, if you are on the side of the client, when you're the client, you just want to know things are done the way that you'd like them to be. And we are in their homes, and often for the first time in their lives, having somebody help them in their home. And we want to make sure that they feel comfortable. So requesting feedback is a really great way to ensure that we're keeping their wants and needs at the forefront. And we will watch a quick video here about requesting feedback and how simple it can be to do so.
Hi, Susie. I finished the laundry and I vacuumed the house.
So I just wanted to check in with you and see if I'm doing a good job, if there's anything that I can do differently for you.
You're doing a really good job, honey. Really good job. But like next time, I think you put a little too much fabric softener in the laundry, and my britches just kept sliding down all day.
Oh no.
So,
Okay.
So like next time, could you just a little less?
Yeah, I can do that. That's no problem. How about with the meals that I've prepared for you? Are those good? Have you enjoyed what I've been making? Is there anything?
It's delicious.
Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, good. Well, thank you. I just want to make sure that we have an open dialogue, so you can let me know if I'm doing things differently than you'd like.
I appreciate that. That's so good of you, honey.
Well, thank you. Well, you have a wonderful day.
Okay.
And so there you can see that requesting feedback, while it can be awkward, is easier the more that you do it. And it also helps prevent having any miscommunications in the future or concerns in the future, because you're outright asking the client how they'd like things done. It can be as simple as, did I use the right cleaner for the countertops, or did I make your sandwich the way that you like? And you can turn that into engaging with them by asking them to show you, how do you like your sandwiches? Would you mind standing with me while I make it, and you can tell me how to do it? That way you're engaging with them and really also getting good feedback on how they'd like to have things done. It really reduces complaints and miscommunications and misunderstandings right at the start. And next is being empathetic. So the key difference between being empathetic and being sympathetic, we can be sympathetic or feel sorry for someone. If someone passes away, we can feel sorry for their family members. But being empathetic is really putting yourself in that other person's shoes and sharing in their experience. So we're going to actively listen and actively share in their emotion and be there for them and make that personal connection with them. And that's really important with our clients. As we talked about before, we're in their home. Often this is the first time they've had a service like this. We really want to engage and connect with them and make sure that they know that we're there for them. It leaves the client feeling valued and understood, which is really the most important part of all of this. And we are going to watch a quick Brene Brown video talking about empathy.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. And we do it all the time, because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
That was a really great portrayal of empathy. And so now we're going to move on to a couple of challenging types of communication. Communicating with clients with dementia is first. And we'll watch this quick clip and then we'll go over a few things from it.
Here are a few tips on how to adjust your communication so you can continue to have meaningful conversations with people living with dementia. Avoid the word remember. Some people may not be able to remember, and this only points out memory challenges. Instead of asking, "Do you remember your daughter?" use prompts like, "Did Leslie, your daughter, call while I was out?" Be agreeable. Resist the temptation to correct people with dementia if they talk about things that aren't real or events that happened years ago but they think occurred recently. Share the reality without confirming or denying what they said. Speak slowly at a normal rate. That's 2 to 3 words per second. Take a breath between each sentence and be observant to be sure they understand and have time to catch up. Speak in sentences that include only one idea. Try to keep sentences short and use familiar words to reduce memory load. For example, let's walk to the store. Ask only one question at a time. Use yes or no answer questions or give a maximum of 2 options. For example, did Leslie or Sarah call while I was out? Monitor your body language. Some people with dementia may be able to read facial expressions and body language more accurately than understanding spoken words. Try to make your words happy, sad, etc. align with your body movements. Be at their level and maintain eye contact. Don't stand or hover over people. It can be intimidating. Maintaining eye contact will also help communicating with someone with hearing loss. Use actions to support your words. For example, rather than just saying, "Let's go for a walk," also point to the door or put on your coat to demonstrate what you mean. Tell them what you're going to do. Make everyone aware of your intentions before you do things. Sudden and unexpected movements can cause stress. Show and tell. Bring your loved one an object that has an old memory or story around it and see if it creates a connection. If it works, bring it back for another visit. Ask for their advice. For example, ask for their wisdom on children, renovations, or life in general. It may create humor, but it will also help them feel valued. Researchers and clinicians all over the world are trying to better understand dementia. What can you do to help? Talk about dementia and continue to support and participate in research. Learn how Andre is helping. Visit andre.ca and learn more about how we and our partners are making a difference.
So we'll hop up to the next slide here and go over a few main points from that video. Important things to remember. Don't say remember. That is a quick way to make someone feel like there's something they're forgetting. And that's the last thing that we want to do for our clients who are living with dementia. We don't want them to feel like there's something there that they don't know. We want to speak slowly and maintain eye contact. And we also want to allow them time to process. If they haven't responded in several seconds, you may try asking the question again, but the next time you ask, try to rephrase it because they may not be processing the question the way that you intend them to. So it may help to use different words. Just like in the video, we want to make sure that we're asking questions with minimal answers or just yes or no answers, because those concepts are much easier for them to understand and to respond to. We also want to meet them where they are. One of the most important things when working with people living with dementia is meeting them where they are. It does us no good to try and bring them back into the present, because that sometimes is not a place that they understand. Typically when they think they're in another place, it's a place and time that they understand and have frame of reference for in their life. So we need to meet them where they are. And I have a cute little meme here with a dinosaur. I mean, if they think dinosaurs are roaming the earth, just work on your best T-Rex roar. That's really just the best way to engage with them and meet with them in their time and place. Don't bring them back to the present. It's just really not helpful. It's also a great idea to look through photo albums, especially if you're able to work with a family to have them labeled, and you can just go through and enjoy learning about their past. Another great way to engage with someone who is living with dementia is to ask them for their advice. That's a simple enough concept if they have children or if they were a teacher. Just say, what's the best way to work with kids? Or what's the secret to your marriage? Or asking them concepts like that they don't necessarily have to tie to particular memories, but they also appreciate being treated like an adult. Oftentimes when we speak more slowly, we tend to speak down to people without intending to. But we need to make sure that we're on their level, at their eye level, and that we're talking to them in a calm, slow, but not a condescending voice. We don't want to make them feel stupid. We just want to make them feel like we're trying to have a conversation and really understand where they are and be present with them in their moment. Next is managing conflict. Now, I know this is something that comes up a lot because we're humans working with other humans, and we all have a tendency to misunderstand each other. So there are 5 different ways of managing conflict. If we roll to the next one, perfect. So forcing, in this scenario, typically you win and the other person loses. So in that case, it would be our client. Our client would lose and you would win. Accommodating, the client would win and you would lose. Avoiding, really no one wins in this scenario. It's not recommended. Ignoring conflict completely is never really helpful. It just allows for a build-up and a bigger blow-up down the road. Compromising is a good solution. You both win some and you both lose some. You're compromising. You're finding middle ground, but there's still some sacrifice there. Collaborating is the best way to find solution in managing conflict. Whether that means that you bring in family or bring in the CSM or the coordinator to the discussion so that everybody can find a solution that works for them and we can find mutual ground for everyone so that everyone wins. That's the ideal scenario. Obviously, when working with clients, that's not always the final point that we can get to. Compromising is also great, but you still have to remember there's some sacrifice there. But CSMs, we are more than willing to come and help you out. If you bring us concerns, if you need to have a family talk so that we can all air out grievances and make sure that we're all working together to make sure that our client is well taken care of, that's great. We would love for that. Let's see. So we have gone over today the 5 keys to effective communication, being tone of voice, body language, active listening, requesting feedback, and being empathetic. And then we've also gone over challenging communication and ways to manage conflict, as well as working with clients who have been living with dementia. Do we have any questions from the crowd? We don't. Okay. Well, I think that is all we have today, but if you ever have any questions or would like to reach out to me to ask any of these questions later on, feel free to do so. I can have Carolyn send out my information so that you can email or call or text me just to pick my brain if you have any questions about this. But that was our presentation on effective communication, and I hope you